everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is Profound Professionals. I have the honor of the last 4 or 5 years now. I think we're approaching 5. Can you believe it? That we have been featuring a brilliant, amazing individuals that are doing out of the box things in their industries to really touch the lives of the world in a way that is profound for their industry, but also because of how they touch the world outside of their industry itself. Today, I have 2 brilliant and beautiful guests. We have Moira Hutchison and we have Laura Harstad. And I want to welcome Laura Harstad. She is a virtual branding photographer. She works speaker, author, and helps entrepreneurs elevate their brand and stand out online with professional images, all through the magic of a virtual photo shoot. A virtual photo shoot. We have virtual everything. How excited are you guys to hear how a virtual photo shoot works? I know I am. And can you take 10 pounds off? That's the other question. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's great to be here today.
Tell us about how you got into photography, became an author, and started this really unique out of the box virtual photo shoot.
Yes, so I discovered virtual photography in 2021, and ever since then I've been doing it full time because I've loved photography for decades, but I homeschool. And so I had to figure out a business I could do from home. And once I knew I could do photography virtually, that was it for me. I absolutely love it. My clients are all over the world, which is just amazing that that's possible. So this is something I work with entrepreneurs, other business professionals, and I help them get amazing photos for their business. So that's anything from headshots for your LinkedIn profile to a full branding photo shoot where you would have plenty of images for your business needs for the whole year. So I offer lots of opportunities for photo packages because I want to help you shine. That's something that I'm passionate about as well, is just helping people stand out to really show the world who they are, because I believe we all have something incredibly special to give the world, and too many people are afraid to be seen, and we need to stop hiding, and we really need to just shine our light in the world.
Okay, so I'm self-proclaimed brilliant, and I want to know, have you thought of a way, because I know I collaborate with a ton of amazing, brilliant other business owners and business professionals, both men and women. And how cool would it be if there was some sort of group package where a multiple of people who collaborate could work with you and have photos like together and separately? And, I know I'm constantly leveraging. There's group coaching, there's individual one-on-one coaching. The one-on-one's always more expensive. Have you ever done anything like that or thought of that?
Yeah, I've actually done headshots for a whole board. And so that's something I offer as well, because a lot of businesses are all virtual. And
Yeah.
so their team is maybe all over the world, but I can help you get those photos for your team, for your website, all virtually. So I
Well,
do have packages like that too.
what if they were the heads and the organizers of a very large networking group? Could you offer some sort of like group package or some sort of program where that head of that networking group could say, hey, as a member benefit, you're going to get this amazing, package if you join, tomorrow's networking session, and you're live and present, you get to work with Laura.
Yeah, I've customized photo packages depending on the business and the person I'm collaborating with. So I would be happy to create something like that. I think
I
that
have
would
some
be really
great
fun.
people to introduce you to then, because that is genius right there. I love that. I love that. So we could do something. I think I'm going to talk to you about private intimate groups with my personal collaborators, as well as introducing you to some group owners that I know have very large groups of their own. So, and I have a group of clients that maybe we could do something for as well. That is exciting. Can
That's
you give
amazing.
us, can you give us some tips for what we want our environment to look like. Like I struggled with I almost always go with solid shirt, and I
Mhm.
went crazy today, so probably not good for a photo shoot, but like ideas for our clothes, our jewelry. I have some new big pieces of jewelry that I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate just to pop out, because I feel like we're such, flat Stanleys on the Zumbies of the world have become these virtual meetings have made us such flat images versus more 3D and alive, right?
Yeah.
Sparkly for me is alive.
I love that. And I think I always like to just say, try to have a pop of color, something, and
Mhm,
red
mhm.
actually does stand out really well in photos, but that might not connect with your brand. I did a
Right.
photo shoot with somebody that white was definitely better connected to their brand because they were in nature. It was all
Mm,
about health. So when I do photo shoots, I try to help them get set up in a way that it will align with the brand image that they are presenting with their business. So that does vary for each person, but just have a little pop of color is helpful. And then for some of the images, no matter where you are, I do all my photo shoots usually in their home. They don't have to leave home. So it's whatever place they have in their house that works that I help find the right lighting and things like that. But I can always
mhm,
remove the background and put in their brand color in the background, which I think is also a pretty cool headshot for places like Instagram, where you get that
mhm,
color then connected to your brand. So there are ways to brand images even after the photo shoot. So I love graphic design and editing photos, and that's all part of what I do as well. But that's really what I try to do, is help tell your story.
mhm.
What's your personality? What's your business? And then take the photos that capture that.
Are you able to put us on a tropical island or in a romantic forest in the background, or keep us from being eaten by an alligator?
I don't do that.
No?
Other people can do that with photo editing. So actually for me, I really try to capture you as you are and just highlight the amazing person that's inside of you that a lot of people are afraid to show. And so it's natural. I just do minimal editing and just find the right lighting, and I help you with posing to help you look amazing. So I'm guiding you through the entire photo shoot. You're not taking a selfie and then I edit it. That's not how this works. This is a live photo shoot. It just happens to be virtual. But I want to capture who you are. I don't want to create art. I want to help
Right.
tell your story.
Sounds fantastic. Is there anything else about how to work with you that you'd like to share?
Oh, I would just love to connect on LinkedIn. I think that link will be included. And if you need a headshot, that's awesome. I can help you with that. If you want to dive into that full shoot, that would be a lot of fun as well. But just anything, I want to help you show up and stand out. And images are the best way to do that.
We are live and live things happen. You adjusted your microphone and it made it a teeny bit crackly. Can you just play with that a bit?
Okay, is that better?
Not yet.
I didn't touch anything. I'm not sure.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we will work with this, and then if we need to, we'll make other corrections in the future. It has been lovely listening to you share all of that. But one of the other things that makes you profound is the cause that you love and care about. Can you share a little bit with us about that? Because we'll be including that in the article and in some of the comments below, so that people can learn and know about your amazing cause.
Yes. So through my business, I support an incredible nonprofit called Love Without Boundaries. And I found this organization after we adopted our two boys from China. I was looking for an organization that was doing something on the ground to help families in that country. And when I discovered Love Without Boundaries, I realized they were working in China and many, many other countries around the world. And I'm just blown away by their work with nutrition, education, support for trafficking victims, foster homes, medical care. It's just the highest needs in those locations. Love Without Boundaries is working to support people who are struggling with that. And they hire people locally as well, which I am a huge fan of, that it's all locally led. So that is just my favorite organization, and I just am so happy to be able to support their work.
That's lovely. I'm going to say, I'm going to introduce our other guests, and we're going to come back to you for some more information. We're going to try one of those tricks of jumping out and jumping back in to see if we can get your microphone on track. And if we need to, we will have you back for another interview, because we want you to have the ultimate level of quality. So I am going to take a minute and introduce Moira Hutchison. Hutchison. All right, help us, Moira. Pronounce your name correctly, because we honor you, the beauty of your name.
Thank you very much. It's Moira Hutchison.
Hutchison. I was so close.
You were very close.
Moira is an intuitive coach, and I just love that connection of spirit and energy. She blends the guidance and wisdom from many different practices. She helps people align with their personal trinity of trust. I love that. Inner awareness, self-confidence, and so they discover their truth and their gifts and talents that align with their unique life purpose. And I do thoroughly believe we have a unique life purpose. So welcome, Moira.
Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here with you. Thank you, Jessica.
Tell us how you got into this space, because it sounds like you have many, many, many certifications of multiple different modalities in your space of brilliance.
Thank you. Yes, I do. This has been quite a long journey for me. My story is that I come from a corporate background. Back. I come from a corporate background. I used to run other people's businesses, so I have a lot of corporate awareness, but I burnt out. In fact, I burnt out 2 or 3 times. And in my own evolution of studying what makes us burn out, because there's a lot of burnout in this world. And there was a pivotal article that I read back in the year 2000. The article said that people who burn out are not following their life purpose, because they're pushing and they're forcing and they're doing things that don't really align with what makes their heart sing. And that started my journey into studying. I actually started off as a massage therapist, but then went into training as a hypnotherapist and a meditation teacher, and got my certification as a life coach, and then continued into the spiritual evolution of it. I'm a tarot card reader too. That's where I really use a lot of the intuitive skills. And that actually, tarot and numerology and human design are all 3 key components of my intuitive coaching practice. That's kind of how I show up and meet with people. But my kind of underlying mission, if you like, or my purpose in life, is to actually help people see how they are uniquely wired. We are all uniquely wired. We all have our own talents and voice and gifts. And really, the purpose of each one of our lives is to find it, acknowledge it, and share it. And so that's kind of the driving force behind everything that I do. I transitioned from the corporate world. I started in 2000, and I actually did both side by side for 4 years while I trained, and then in 2004 stepped completely into the intuitive energy healing work that I do now.
Well, congratulations on that.
So
what kinds of ways can we work with you? I'm assuming we can work with you virtually, so anywhere in the world.
I actually only work virtually. So, and I do have clients all over the world. I just love the internet for this.
So do I. So do I. How about, is it one-on-one, or are there group session options? How do you set up, and is it workshops or trainings? Like, what is how I receive the best service from you?
So I do a bit of all of that. So I do one-on-one, I do groups. In fact, I'm just about to launch a 6-month group program at the end of this month, at the end of January, which I'm really excited about because this is kind of like a signature piece that I've put together. And it's some of the group work that I do comes about from the one-on-one work that I do, where I keep realizing I'm saying the same thing. I'm telling this person the same thing, or here's the same kind of vibe coming up. And so that's kind of what helps me do research and realize, oh, there's a bigger platform that's requiring guidance in this area. Or, so sometimes I do put it together as a workshop, but I'm much more into helping people learn something new and then helping them integrate it in their own way. Because remember I said about the uniqueness. So I may teach you something and you hear me, but you need to integrate it in more of a tactile way, for instance, or figure out how do you receive your inner guidance. And so then there's lots of different processes and layers. So I love to teach something, but then come back. Because one of the underlying principles that I use, whether I'm working with people one-on-one or in groups, is that, number one, there is no one size fits all. So I can't say, oh, here's how you do this. It doesn't work. But number two, it's really important to me to allow people to try things on and then say, does this work for me? How do I feel about myself when I'm doing something this way, as opposed to doing something following another protocol or other ism? So this is about making sure that the person is feeling empowered and trusting of themselves to say, yes, I hear that philosophy or I hear that teaching, but I know I need something a little bit more as well. And so it's about cherry picking, what's the pieces. And so then I'm empowering you to create your own toolkit, your own kit of motivational pieces, of ways of doing things, of how to schedule your time and how to speak to yourself even. That's an important part too.
Well, it's interesting because what you do is very intimate. So even in a group like webinar training session, personal things are going to come to the top, and people are either going to choose to share or not, because it's a very intimate experience. And even just in listening to you, I'm very spiritual and prayerful, and I do a lot of meditating. And I've, over the last couple of years, had a lot of aha moments where I realized that in our meditation and prayer, we actually have access to all the knowledge and brilliance of the past and the future, including the present, in order to solve problems or face challenges. And one of the things while you were talking, I realized I haven't been doing that I need to add to what I'm doing is that I'll often go and sit in meditation on a challenge or a problem a puzzle I'm trying to untangle, and I'll receive an answer. But the execution of taking that brilliant piece of information that I've received and pushing through to figure out, okay, now how do I do that? Is has been something that has not always pulled all the way through, right? And so I think I need to then continue to meditate on, like, so when I build a project plan, I have the main project is at the top, and then I break down all the tasks that have to be done, and I put a timeline to it, and I assign it to a team member, and I do all these things. What I think I need to do is then when you receive an answer in meditation, you should then break that down and dissect it further and meditate on the individual components and pieces so that you can get the rest of the answers and then pull all the way through. Because just because you receive this brilliant you should and you're led to, and the universe is lined up for you to do X, Y, Z, doesn't mean you know how to or how to tap into the resources, even though I believe the universe often brings the people, the resources and money and everything you need in order to do this. I think you still need to be responsible for your own openness to touch in and receive the answers in a continual flow. So
Absolutely. And something that I think is really important is that sometimes you may get an insight land on you while you're doing a
Mhm.
meditation or while you've focused on an issue or a situation. I think it's super, super important to acknowledge that you heard it. If
Yeah,
you're going to, because sometimes we don't have time to say, okay,
that
I
I
need to
do.
go deeper.
I get very excited about it. I tell my husband, like, we have access to the ultimate Google. Like, if we
Yes,
just
we
want to
do.
know an
We do.
answer, we just have to ask.
That's
Sit
right.
down and sit still for a minute and listen.
The tip that I was going to share is that I think it's really important to, and I will tap my forehead, the third eye area, if you're aware of chakras, to just say I
Mhm.
got it. I received that insight. Thank you.
That's very good.
Because then I may need to bring that back later when something else happens, or
Mhm.
somebody calls me, or an email comes in, or an
Yeah.
opportunity shows up, or a client says something. And then you go, oh, yeah, that's there. That connects.
Yeah,
Those
because I
dots connect.
definitely have lost some of my moments of brilliance. They've
Yeah.
like slipped away. Like, where did that go? I know I had a really good idea. Where did I put it?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I do that.
I love that. Is there anything else about your business you'd like to share?
I think the main thing is, like I said, about this program starting. I do offer group programs once a month, which are actually free, just to come in
Oh,
and have a
nice.
little mini tarot reading. So all of those pieces of information is on my website. Like I
Yeah.
say, all the work that I do is virtual. So I get to sit here in my home office and meet with people all over the world.
Well, if you share those details, we'll include them in your unique article as well as in some of the comments for
Definitely.
whatever you're watching. We're so glad that you're watching. Now, one of the other things that makes you outstanding and wonderful and marvelous and fabulous and profound in my world is that you have a cause that you care about. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. The cause is run through the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. And what this is this they support a group that I'm actually involved with. So I do work as a hypnotherapist for people who are working through cancer, who have cancer,
I love.
and anybody who is impacted by it. So they're
Mhm.
caregivers or
Yeah.
or you know, extended family, things of that nature. They run group programs for people who have cancer, and for the caregivers, and for anybody else who's interested in, you know, holistic ways. And I actually do two of their group programs, and it's all funded by donation.
I
And
love
what's so beautiful is that, what I love is that when people who are you know, in treatment plans, and they're on medications, or maybe they've just had surgery, and so leaving to go to a group session becomes very difficult.
it.
But
Mhm.
they can still, I've actually worked with people who are still in their own bed,
Mm.
you know, or lying on their couch, or
Mhm.
and so these programs have now been going for quite a few years. I think I'm
That's
into my third year of doing that. So one of the programs I do, it's like a group meditation. I do a little bit teaching, mindfulness, that
mhm.
type of thing. But I'm also a qigong teacher, and so that's the other group that I do with them. And so, like I say, I'm just very passionate about it, to keep those programs available. That it's just making such a beautiful difference for so many people.
There is so much medical science, and even in the traditional, hardcore, old school medical space, that proves and out of doctors' own mouths have said the mindset and the attitude of the
Absolutely.
patient have a great impact on their recovery. And you know what, other reason I do this, and I love, you know, featuring beautiful women like you in your businesses. I want them to thrive and grow, and that is my genuine wish and hope. But really, there is someone out there who personally needed to know about your group,
Yeah,
or knows someone who desperately needs to have that, and we'll
definitely.
share this video with them, and we'll connect them with you, and we'll learn more about this cause. You know, same with Laura's cause. I mean, that is why I love the internet so much too, not just because I've built relationships of family and love across the globe, but also because we're able to knowingly help people that we know will never know or meet, right? Someone
Right.
out there who needs to hear this is going to receive it. And that makes me glow from the inside out, right? So thank you so much for that. That is beautiful. Okay, since we have a little extra time and we have our beautiful Laura back, I would love to hear one of the things about Laura that makes her exceptional is she is an author. And you have a book that you have written, and you also may have a book that has inspired your life personally or your business. Would you like to? I'm a big bookworm. Everyone knows it who watches my show. So you want to share a book with us or
Yes.
two?
So the book that I was in, and is my microphone working again?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. Okay. So I was part of this incredible project, and the book was called 100 Self-Portraits, 100 Dreams. And the main author is Shika Khanna, and she brought together 100 moms from around the world. And we each took a self-portrait that kind of captured who we are, and then shared a story to inspire others about being a mom. And so we had the launch party just a couple of months ago. I don't have a hardcover in my hands yet, but I will soon. And that was
Yay.
just an incredible global book project to be a part of.
I love that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And any other book that's inspired you separate from the one you were part of?
Yeah, I'd say a book that has hugely inspired me. I even have it right here on my desk, Humans of New York. I followed them on Facebook. I read every story that was posted. And if you haven't heard of it, it's somebody, a photographer really, who was in New York and decided to just capture short stories of people on the street. And it was incredible. And you just kind of got to know somebody through that story. And then, of course, there would always be a photo of that person. And so in the book, you get the photos and the stories. And I think that's something
Lovely.
I'd love to do in the future, is my own version of Humans of New York and just connect the story to the photo.
And what a
Beautiful.
great gift. I mean, that would be great for I love the book you were part of too. That's also a very great gift, especially for Mother's Day coming up, right? But
Right?
all these holidays, when you have these people in your lives that you don't know what to possibly get them, what an interesting and cool coffee table book that would be enjoyable to receive. Both of those books, fantastic. I love it. This is why I asked the book question. All right, Moira, tell me about books in your world. You have just a few on the shelf there.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit of a bookworm myself. So I actually have written 2 books and have been a co-author in, I think, 4 or 5, I think.
Wow. We'll have to
But
get the Moira book list and add it
yeah,
to your article. So make sure you send our team
sure.
all the
Yeah, I'd be happy to do
information to
that.
include that.
My most recent book that I wrote is called Letting Go So You Can Thrive. And
Mm-hmm.
in that book, I share my 5-step process, which is actually what shows up in my coaching practice. This is basically like the introduction to what I do and how I help people let go of what's not serving them, what's not
Yeah.
helping their authenticity, the truth of who they are. Yeah.
Wonderful. Is there a book outside of your personal collection that has inspired you?
Well, like Laura, I actually have this book actually lives on my desk too. It's called The Fourfold Way.
I don't think I've heard of that one. Tell us
It's a
about it.
beautiful book that, you know, how I was saying earlier about how we're all unique and how we all need to keep trusting our intuition and you know, allowing ourselves to gravitate towards certain things. This book, she really gets into helping you see the different paths that we walk, the different nuances, who we are in each one. And it's just beautifully done to try different pieces and different, you know, the warrior, the teacher, the
Mhm.
healer, visionary. We all have all of those components within us, and this just helps us sort of blend and wake them up, acknowledge them.
Beautiful. I love that. It has been so wonderful. And I hope you've enjoyed watching and sharing this with others as much as I have enjoyed experiencing this time with Laura and Moira. Profound Professionals, you may be someone who can inspire and share something that will improve someone's individual life, community, environment, grow their business, or help them in some brilliant way. If that's you, please reach out. We would love to feature you here on Profound Professionals. And even better, if you know someone, introduce us to that someone. Be their hero and ours, and share with us that amazing person so that we can feature them. Now, before we say goodbye, I always like to get one last amazing piece of beautiful gem knowledge that will help someone, either something that's helped you, something you love, a habit you do, a quote you have, whatever you'd like to share that you feel like could make the listeners' lives better in some way or has made your life better. Laura, could you share with us?
Yeah, I would say just remember, don't be afraid to be you. There's only one of you, and you hold a very unique space in this world and you can impact people in a way that only you can. So share your voice, share your smile. I am a photographer, and just shine as brightly as possible in this world.
I love that. That is beautiful. What do you have, Moira, for us? Give us something, one last punch before we say goodbye.
Definitely. I love that tip from Laura. That was perfect.
It was.
So I want to share a set of 3 questions to help people make decisions. This is something that I do, and I encourage all my students and clients to do the same. It's very simple. The 3 questions. The first one is, do I want to do this? Or not, do I want to do this? Is this good for me? Yes or no? Is this option, this opportunity, this decision, is this good for me? Yes or no? The second one is this good for the other or the others? So is it good for the group I'm in, the relationships I'm in? Is it good for the others or the other? Yes or no? And the third one is, do I want to? Yes or no? The thing is, in order to say yes to something, all 3 of them have to be yes. If there are any no's, it's not good for me, or it's not good for the other, or I don't want to do it, any of those are no, then it's a no. It's such a simple, profound way of actually really accessing your own inner truth.
I think that is beautiful. Well, thank you again to my guests and to you watching, especially to those of you who choose to share, because sharing is love. This is Jessica Koch, your host of Profound Professionals. We are featuring amazing people who are making a profound impact on the world, and together we're spreading that impact globally. All right, so till next time, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.